Hello everyone, welcome back to another Empires 4 commentary. I am Beyond, and as always, thank you so much for the support in the past couple videos and the channel as a whole. I truly do appreciate it. Let's get back into some more high-level 2v2 gameplay. You guys have asked, I'm going to keep delivering. It's been an absolute blast doing these 2v2 games. If you're a high-level 2v2 player, let me know and send them. Feel free to send it into the email below or on Discord. If you have any amazing games you want me to cast, just let me know and I'd be happy to do it. Now, today we have Happy Cat playing as the Malians. Across the way, and their teammate is, can't say their name, playing as the Abbasid. Across the way, we have FlexPay playing as the English. And then down below in the blue, we have VN Hung ADC as the blue HRE. Now, these are all pretty high level 2v2 players. Most of them, I think all of them, sitting at least over 1700 elo. This person in the orange over here appears to be the highest level player in the lobby. 13 hours before this game, they just beat Loose Front in 1v1, so they seem to be a pretty good player, very high level player. So interesting to see how they handle the Abbasid dynasty in this one, with their counterpart being as the Malians. The Malians can definitely provide that little bit of cover the Abbasid could need to get that boom behind it. Then across the way, we have the HRE and English, a very classic combination. The HRE is going to be looking to boom, essentially being left alone. At least get into Castle Age, but preferably into the Imperial Age. The quicker they get to there, the happier they will feel. And there's a few relics they could probably easily get. I can see about 4 within range that they could most certainly cash in on. So if they go that early Regnance, that would be a possibility. And then over here, the English player, it really depends on their opening. They can drop that 2 TC. They can do a little bit of pressure on the Abbasid and Malian player with those early archers from the Council Hall. So interesting to see how these teams play it. Now, down below, and if you also, before I get into this, if you have made it this far and you are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And then on top of that, as you can see on your screen right now, I did a little poll. About 6 of you responded. Thank you so much. You can also still go do it if you're so inclined, or leave a comment on this video. But essentially, kind of asked you what you want to see from me next to help improve the channel. I haven't gotten any specific feedback on the mic. I just thought it would be the best way to improve the overall experience. So let me know if you have any suggestions on a mic that I should look up in picking up. Only 6% of you said just the mic, but a fair amount of you also said new mic plus the 2v2 tourney. So we will look into a new mic just to improve the overall quality, as I mentioned. And then on top of that, it does seem like you guys want me to try to put together a 2v2 tournament. So I will be looking into that over the next month or so to see what I can do and get it maybe even before the EGC finals, or maybe just afterwards. Regardless, I'm going to do my best to see what I can do to set something up, because it seems like a great time and I would love to cast it for you. And I'll cast it over on Twitch, so those of you that want me to stream more, I stream about once a week, but yeah, I'll be streaming that tournament over there. So that gets all of that out of the way. Just during the boring part of the game. The good news about 2v2s is that they are so action-packed. There is the early tower, which is a pretty standard play out of the HRE, but they're so action-packed that I don't have to ramble for too long. 1v1s, I do find myself rambling for about 5 minutes until we really start to see some deviation in the build order. Now, all the huts are out on this one. This pit mine is absolutely cranking away. We can see that the HRE player is looking to just get at least one house down, but I doubt it will actually go down. I'm sure that Happy Cat will bring down a villager to actually repair any damage done. We can see the orange Abbasid player over here is going for a good amount of stone. Going to be seeing that second TC quite quickly. We can see that what are we looking at? We selected the Eco Wing, so we're going to be absolutely cruising over here into probably maybe 3, maybe 4 TCs. We'll have to wait and see. Over here we have the Council Hall, absolutely stock standard, nothing changing over here for the English player. We also haven't started collecting any stone just yet, so maybe we see some early aggression, but nothing just yet out of the English. Then across the way, we see the Arcane Chapel dropped in between a very nice spot. I think it has some pretty nice range on this one, gets that stone, gets a little bit of that wood line as well, and is a decent spot to actually make a farm transition later in the game. Now I'm assuming if we were to go over here, that I was going to say they're already starting to save for Castle Age, and that is exactly what the HRE player is doing. Let's see if the English players do the same thing. Nope, they're investing in all those eco advantages. They do have a few archers over here, but not going to be able to do much at all. There is the first TC out of the eco wing for the Abbasid. Probably going to see one more. Has not collected the stone just yet, so actually might not be seeing that just yet, but you never know. So typically speaking, if you go that, you do see that 3 TC, especially in a 2v2. But 2 TC, they'll be feeling pretty confident about it and feeling in a pretty good spot. Malians, we almost never see a second TC out of them. That'd be quite wild. There was a meta there for like a hot minute early on in Season 5 where Malians tried the 2 TC stuff. Didn't go so well, so they're sticking to that passive income off of that one base and feeling pretty good about that. We can see the larger pit mine already going down, which is a little underrated play for you Malian players in 2v2s. Stick that second pit mine right in your opponent's, teammate's base. It won't impact the actual mining of it. And on top of that, you know, they're just going to be hard chilling, and this is going to be a very, very safe ordeal over here. So I do like what Happy Cat is doing with the selection of those pit mines. It's a little interaction that you don't see very often. You don't see, obviously, at all in 1v1s, but it's those small little plays that you can really make that can turn your 2v2 game all around. And there is what we all expected out of the HRE, a fast castle, and probably going to be fast imp with the 7 villagers still on that gold over there. And there's plenty of sheep down below. It looks like that FlexPay has also donated the sheep. So everyone's really in a good spot. Everyone's utilizing the 2v2 tactics as you'd expect out of this high of a level. We have a farm. I'm going down for the English. Not the English isn't doing too much over here. Let's see. And floating a little bit, but not too much. And we can see the barracks coming in because of traditional play. And there is the third TC out of the Abbasid player. So we're, you know, nothing out of the ordinary just yet. I mean, everyone's kind of doing exactly what I thought they would be doing. And there are the cows. And the cows are going to be starting to set up for a little cow boom action, which, you know, the Malians very, very strong with that cow boom. So let's see if they can kind of boom or bust right past the HRE player. Let's see if anyone can deny some of these relics, though, because the HRE player is going to be out early and often. These longbone are going to provide a nice safe haven. There's a scout for the orange Abbasid, but they have 3 TCs. They're not producing any units just yet. They're not worried. They're not worried in the slightest. We do see one's already collected, one's already dropped down. So we already have 2 relics on the field for the HRE player, and we can start to collect even more. It looks like they're going out to collect them, but they were yoinked a little bit. The English player is not yoinking any of those, so this one is still safe and sound. Can collect that one for the max of 3. This one in the middle is being protected by his English counterpart. And if there's 2 more over here that are possibilities, this one's going to be the hardest one to get. But this one is a possibility, but actually it looks like we're going to be dropping another TC. So 4 TCs. The power of the TCs, if no one attacks this man soon, he's going to be sitting on like 100 villagers by like the 12-minute mark. So yeah, the HRE got their relics, but actually, I mean, also preventing the relic from getting taken as well, because this town center is going to go down, and you can see the scouts coming over and going, oh, well, we're not getting that one. That's okay. Assuming that they're going to be thinking that this is maybe the 3rd TC, but now they're going to be realizing what they're actually in for, and it's 4 TCs, and you have not done really any aggression just yet, so Ram Technology is not even close to on the way, so this Abbasid player is going to be cruising, just hanging out. There's really no rush on their part, and now they can finally start to set up some infrastructure to get some actual units. But until then, nothing but villagers. And you can see the villager count is going to be going up quite quickly. Let's go over to this. As you can see, 45, but it's all villagers at this point. We can see 32 villagers for the HRE player, 33 for the English player, and Happy Cat sitting at 33. So our Abbasid player is going to be cooking into the late game. Happy Cat is happy to provide and go into a free cow boom as well. So this could be an issue for the blue side, blue and yellow, the traditional Age of Empires combination of the English and the HRE. But the issue is what I think what you'd want out of a perfect combination is English and HRE with a knight civ, like the Rus, like the French, because they need to provide a little bit of aggression to let one of you boom behind it. The English are totally fine, and because they're more of a defensive civ as well, so you're not gonna be putting on too much of a pressure. You can, but if you get 2v1 because your HRE player is booming, it's gonna be really tough spot. What the beautiful thing of the Cav slash Knight civilizations are, is that you get in a difficult spot when you're harassing, you just pull back. That's all you gotta do. You just run out of there, and it's no sweat at all. The issue with the English army is they're very immobile, so going aggressive means you're pretty much locked into being aggressive, unless they truly have nothing, and then you can be punished later on. But again, we have a gentleman's agreement to not do anything just yet. We want to see some late game units, and you know what? We love that. This is probably the least aggressive 2v2 I've ever casted so far on this channel, so I'm excited to see some late game action. Ooh, we have a little wall going down. It's gonna be so close, so close, so close, so close, so close. Boom! Got him. Swag walks away with 4 HP and acquires some units for free. These Musafati warriors are going to track him down, though. This prelate is going to be in the sights. Actually, no, they turn to fight the converted Donzos and other Musafati warrior. So this prelate actually is going to be skating out with the skin of its teeth, 4 health, not a problem. The wall did not work, and there it goes. It's going to be dropping that off safe and sound. And there is the Imperial Age as well. Do we get the printer? Oh, yeah. The Palace of Swabi, the printer is online. The village printer is in full production. So it's going to be a race between Hung ADC and however you say this human's name over yonder. That will be the decisive factor. But you can see the English has a sizable longbow force, so we're going to be pushing back any shenanigans. But Happy Cat is now Castle Age, booming away. Feeling very, very good about what they got going on over here. And they're even expanding. They're doing a lot of Musafati warriors. This is great to see. Actually very fun to see 7 on the way. And it looks like they're going to be just harassing whatever they possibly can. The Palace of Swabi is full, which means there was some harassment going down before. We see another tower going up, just in case, just to really protect. But we're going to have to wait to see. These are going to have to pop out soon. It looks like there's a few Huh. I wonder why we're not bringing these out yet. Yeah, there's 10 villagers in here. There we go. Now they're back to work. FlexPay has also hit Castle Age, so we see the second TC going down for themselves. Castle Age as well for the Abbasid player has been secured. We can see that they decided to go Culture Wing for the second one. So this Abbasid player is absolutely booming. You can see the infrastructure is going up. And they're going to get, once they decide to move out on the map, this is going to be a spooky looking force. You can see they're collecting every unit possible. Musafati Warriors doing a great job, and this is actually a great person to harass. The HRE, now at this point with the House of Swabi, though, a little bit less important to harass because they can just print villagers for absolute days. Now let's see over here. VN Hung ADC has 52 villagers. We can see 93 for the Abbasid player when you're at 4 TCs. That's what happens. Happy's at 44 but has tons of passive income. And FlexPay is at 48. And these Musafati warriors are not messing around. They're Castle Age and they're just sprinting. They're sprinting away from these Landschnecks and they're getting the damage they need to get done. Another scout's going to be going down. They're going to actually turn on these Landschnecks and there's nothing you can do to that. Just absolutely slice and dice down. Quick and easy. Let's see. Are we thinking about trade here? Is that what this is? Is that why y'all are in the corner? We'll have to wait and see. I'll wait for a little dot to come up over there. But they went to scout the Abbasid player, and they're probably not loving what they're seeing. If we're being 100% honest, there is the mosque producing a probably going to secure just 2 free relics, easy peasy. Just want to get some passive gold with all those villagers. We just have idols everywhere because everyone's just hanging out. The English force is looking like an English force. We got the longbowmen hanging out. We got a few spearmen here and there. Not upgraded just yet, but they will be on the way. HRE looking pretty stock standard. There's the farm transition going down. So now we're going to be hitting to that late game. We can see that trade has begun on the bottom side of the map with the Malian player. So this is a full, everyone just kind of leave everyone alone, and we're hopefully going to see some unreal late game fights. I'm not going to lie to you though, I'm not loving the fact that you've left an Abbasid player alone this long. You let an Abbasid 4TC get up to a Imperial Age. I don't love it. I'm not going to lie to you. I do not love it. I think that they're going to turn this into an absolute beatdown, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm confident the English are one of the best turtlers in the entire game, so if there's anyone that can hold off an Abbasid for a very long time. It is the English. I would love to see, though, them getting into Imperial Age very soon. So if they do not, this is going to be a long, long day. The Ghoulims, let's see if they're getting an upgrade anywhere. We do not. We see +1 over here. We do not see the Ghoulim upgrade just yet coming in, but that will be coming in quite quickly. We have hand cannoneers have entered the chat. The Ghoulims are getting produced in mass forces. The Malian player is kind of hanging out. We do see a nice force over here, which will do pretty well into this Abbasid force. If they come over, it looks like they're going to be causing some pain on the Malian side. We do have a fair amount of crossbowmen in this mix, though, so this English force should be able to hold off this kind of measly force at this point. We don't see any siege yet for either side, so we'll have to wait and see. Over here, we're almost maxed out at this point. We can even see the Imperial Age upgrades coming in for elite army tactics, but no Ghoulim upgrade just yet. And the Lanzknechts into this Archer Musafati combination is doing so well. And now the men-at-arms are also being sprinkled in, and these archers do absolutely nothing to them. Poison, who cares? The HRE player is just able to just kind of hang out and chill. Happy is now in Imperial Age, but gonna need to do a little bit more to deal with any of this. And here we go. The Ghoulims are fully upgraded. You can see by those golden helmets. And now they're pressuring this English army. The English army will definitely do a good job at taking down these hand cannoneers, but at this point, I don't know if there's enough crossbowmen to actually take down this front line of the Ghoulims. As you can see, the hand cannoneers are slowly catching up and doing a whole bunch of damage. Some nice focus fire here from the English player, but they've actually stopped kiting, which is brutal because the Ghoulims are double striking down their entire ranged force. We can see some front line trying to be provided by the HRE player, and you can see that Happy was able to dismantle that attack down bottom. And now it's just completely, they just decided to no more kiting, we're just going to stand and fight. And now the Ghoulims have made their way into the crossbowmen, and there's a lot of them streaming over from the rest. And it looks like they're going to be able to thwart off this first attack, but at the cost of a lot of this army, which is going to be really tough for the English player to completely bring it back. But everyone has a pretty good economy. English player is probably the weakest in terms of economy at this point. Only has 2 TCs. So this trade is actually really good, and elite crossbowmen are actually out for the Abbasid player. And it looks like the English player just doesn't have enough to actually deal. Flex player doesn't have an actual front line right now, and that's what's really starting to cost them. All the upgrades are also coming in for the Abbasid player. You can see +3 and all that. No upgrades at all for the English player. Let's see. They have only selected plus on the range attack option, so nothing else for range defense, which is probably why these men-at-arms look a little bit susceptible to these late-stage crossbowmen. More trade is on the way. As you can see, it's getting absolutely crazy over here, and every upgrade in the book is being upgraded. More and more trade is coming in. Let's check out the traders at this point. We have 6, 6, and 3. So feeling very good about it. We have a constant battle going down for these Ghoulims. I would love to see the Abbasid player pull back for just a second and just take 1 second so they can group up to a full actual army competition. And someone needs to get some siege out here so we can actually deal some damage. Let's see what FlexPay. FlexPay is trying to save up. He has the gold, does not have the food at all, which is not usually the thing that happened for the English player. Usually they have food in spades. But you could see that the farm transition was a little bit far forward, and they were getting attacked early on. The Musafati warriors have made their way all the way in the backside of this base, and they're starting to do some actual damage to the HRE player. The HREs, the more villagers you can kill, the better. It's always going to be beneficial for you for a trade. Yes, they have the passive income from the relics, but the actual villager count is going to be way different. You can see 76 for FlexPay. Let's see. 114 for the HRE player, because that house is probably the old printer. HRE player, the reason why they were able to push back the HRE is now they're over here helping defend the English player, and the HRE men-at-arms are doing their best to play a nice front line. But there's a lot of crossbowmen here, and you can see the archers are moving their way out, trying to make some nice trades. And these Castle Age crossbowmen don't do anything to these late-stage Ghoulims, so needs to get the upgrade as soon as humanly possible. Happy Cat and himself are both in late game mode at this point. The English player is a little bit late to the party, and there is a reason why this Abbasid player has not stopped with this Ghoulim spawn. You can spam, not spam. I don't know why I just threw a little accent in there. But you can see the orange dots are just clobbering their way through the English base, and these farms are a little bit far forward for what the map would look like, and that's actually causing a ton of damage. And the English player cannot easily replicate these villagers. The HRE, of course, has the Palace of Swabia, which is a printer. The Abbasid player has 4 TCs. The English player only has 2 TCs, so every villager that goes down is absolutely brutal, and more going down, and more of this farm position is going down. They're running out of gold in the backhand side, down at 2,000. We can see that the Musafadis are now in as well, and they're trying to take down. This army does absolutely nothing. It's all about the HRE, and it's all about the Abbasid. Because at this point, yes, the Musafadi warriors are able to do a little bit of damage, but there's so many Lanchnecks involved over here. They're able to hold them off, but no one's stopping these Ghoulims. Ghoulims are constantly going forward, and there's something they can really do. Let's check out the population cap completely. There's 33 Ghoulims on the way. So at this point, they're just going to be able to start saving up for whatever they really want, and this is causing absolute havoc. This is what happens when you let a strong of a player as the Abbasid player is just kind of sit and boom and completely unchecked. This is a wonderful example of you got to utilize your civilization's bonuses a little bit more. And the HRE player, yes, you want to boom as well, but you're not going to be able to hold off a booming Abbasid plus Musafadi warriors that are going to be spamming against. Look at how quickly they actually kill these men at arms. So I do love this actual composition. It does seem pretty weak. I think the Musafadi warriors could use a little bit of a tweak or maybe a buff or whatever it may be. But look at how good they are into these HRE men at arms. Of course, we also have the Musafadi gunner, which I haven't seen in I can't remember the last time I saw this unit out on the map. But they're starting to really cook, as you can see, and these villagers decide let's just make a keep right in everyone's face, and shocking absolutely no one. The Malian player was not too thrilled about that decision-making process, but the Lanchnecks are on their way, and here comes more Musafadi warriors to help reinforce these gunners to make sure that they don't die. They're pretty expensive, though they do have pretty much infinite money with the trade. We don't see any trade coming in for the English or HRE player, and that is because the Ghoulims are running across the map, slaughtering every single village. English villager. Wow, that is twice today. I just can't handle it. And now the Ghoulims are in the HRE base. And even with the printer, this is the last thing you really want. And they've just been running around everywhere, doing so much damage. You can see that this keep has gone up, though. So really good for the HRE player taking over the middle of the map. You can just see how quickly these unarmored units go down from the Malians. Even though they are late game, that HRE keep is able to completely ward them off. Another keep is back here. So the real issue is that there's really nothing, there's no one to deal with. They feel very confident the English player is far enough behind, so they don't really need to worry about him anymore. 5 Ghoulims are taking down the King's Palace by themselves. That's really the the ambassador of like, we'll just handle it, don't you worry at all. HRE player is able to start this spam, but the Ghoulims are actually in their base right now, wreaking havoc on all these wood lines. Again, they'll be able to replace them pretty easily, but these Ghoulims are just wreaking havoc through the masses, and now they're going to just keep popping out of all this infrastructure over here, and it's just going to be a constant stream of very high-end men-at-arms, and they're going to be completely dismantling the English player. There's a few villagers that actually managed to escape, but now the farm position is going down as well. We can see the HRE is like, you know what, let's see, you can spam, I can spam as well, no problem at all. You're not taking down this keep. But it is kind of a 2v1 at this point. But the HRE player, if there's ever a civilization that can get this done, it's going to be the HRE. And I'm loving these gunners. Look at that. There's just a thing of beauty over here. They're so cool. Love to see them even more. And now they're in onto this keep. Another keep is going down. A town center is going down. All right, it's a bold selection for one of those, especially with these archers hanging out right there. I know the Palace of Swabia can print villagers, but you don't want them dying this quickly. It's not really a good return on investment if they can't get anything done. And more of these are coming in. And here comes the gunners taking down these Lanchnecks and men-at-arms alike, just absolutely sending pellets through. And now that it looks like the villagers are going to try to repair this, they have emergency repairs. but they might be going down. But now all these villagers just get taking L's left and right. Imagine if you were called into service for this. Oh my goodness, I would reject that order 100%. They're trying to say this at all costs, but 3 rams on this plus all of these. It's going to be going down in about 1 moment. There it is, and now the rams are going to be on to the next few. The line of golems over here is completely wiping the English player off the map, and you have to love the positioning right now of the Abbasid and Malian player. They also have a full trade line going back and forth, and even the Abbasid player got involved in the action. They're like, yeah, you know what, why not? We can make this happen. And look at all these resources for the Abbasid player. Absolutely flush. And this is why you do not let the Abbasid player just hang out. Because the HRE, while they're good, I mean, I don't know who's actually winning this. It does look like kind of like a stalemate at this point. I will say if the Abbasid player didn't exist, I'm definitely taking the HRE in this battle. But at this point, with this many gunners out in the map because of all this trade, I actually might swing it back into the Malian favor. Let's see what's going on over here. I think just a wolf just getting in the action. And these golems are trying to take down everything they possibly can. No stone left unturned. There's one golem just absolutely man-moding this blacksmith over here. So respect to that. There's actually one in the actual base, the farm position itself, and just slowly cutting down all of these. And it will take forever to die if it is eventually targeted. And here we go. Rams are on the field, and they're going to be looking to kill off every single one of these. You have to assume the HRE player plays with this flex play quite a bit. You can just tell by they're not giving up easily, which we do love to see. We hate to see a premature GG. And the HRE is trying to get these Landsnacks on into this Malian army, and look how quickly they do dismantle this thing in front of them. But look at all those rams. Yes, you're dealing really, really good damage to this Malian army, and these gunners are trying to do their best, but they can't really take down these Landsnacks super, super well. But it's just rams at this point. It's all about them rams, baby. They're taking down all this infrastructure, and here comes the villagers. There's a ton of them because of that Balisoswabia, so they're trying to take them down as quickly as possible. This is just a wolf, right? Yeah, just a wolf causing havoc in the backhand side. And now, just for added insult to injury, the Abbasid player is taking the stone of the English, fully wiped at the base, and now will probably be helping out his fellow Malian player in a hot second. You'll see this orange blob start to move downwards, and that will be very, very tough for the HRE player to deal with. At this point, though, there's just so many rams, and I believe more are coming on the way. Nope, we just have a full-on wall-off of these siege. Nope, there's no siege just yet. So the Rams are just going to take a break after that. They were able to hold it off. They killed only about 5 buildings, 2 keeps on the way though. And now there's more Musfati warriors coming. It looks like it's a full scout out because they want to really make sure the English is dead. I think they probably assume that the English player has a satellite base somewhere. Because they would assume that they would GG out of this game quite quickly. So that's maybe why they're looking so thoroughly at every little bit. And these golden helmets are taking down every building in their path. Nothing can stop these, and they're wreaking havoc on the landscape, and they're stealing resources. They're like the Vikings over here. Now, we have a keep going down because, I want to feel safe as well. If you are the HRE player, let's see how many resources they have. Not nearly enough as you'd love to see. Because this Abbasid player is fully maxed out with a Scrooge McDuck level of bankroll. Flex Pay does have enough stone to rebuild the town center. That's what he would need. So would have to be gifted that stone from his compadre, and then across the way, Happy Cat's also sitting on plenty of stone, so everyone's taken those resources that the English player would need. It would take a whole bunch of time to get back them into this game, so we're just clearing everything out, really crossing our T's, dotting our I's to make sure that everything's done. It's almost like and there we go. FlexBait has finally GG'd out. Really had to make sure that every single stone was not left uncare of, and now the orange blob will be moving over to the HRE player. And we get to see one more cool fight, 1v1, Landsnacks versus Musafati and Men-at-Arms. And you can see they're really cutting down this front line quite quickly, and now the Landsnacks are in onto these gunners. The gunners are doing their best to kind of pepper these units down. They do have a lot of upgrades, which makes this fight look so, so good. And you can see it's just an absolute battle range. It's a firing range. There's so many dead blue units, and they're trying their best to actually kill off these rams. But with the support of these gunners on the backhand side, it's brutal. These are so cool. I love these. I've never, like I said, I don't think I've seen them super often. I don't think I've ever actually casted a game with them, which is actually making this so cool. So maybe I'll make these guys a thumbnail. There we go, a little thumbnail right there for everyone to see. And I wonder. Let me know in the comments. Since I've never seen them before. Why aren't they used? Are they cost too much money? The Mollies never make it to late game. That late of a game, they want to end Castle Age. I know that's usually the strategy, but I wonder why these haven't been seen as a win condition too often, or at this point you can't usually have this much trade going on as a Mollies to actually produce these units. And there is the GGs. So we did know it for about 5 minutes there at the end that it was going to be pretty much done and dusted, but we do love to see people staying in games and being competitive, and it got to see us some pretty cool units. Let me know if you want to see more 2v2s in the future, and I will do my best to do what I can on that front. I'm trying to look for games, high-level games, to make it the best possible case for you guys. If you guys did enjoy, please do like and subscribe, and hope you guys have a great night.